Don't listen to don't pay attention to what they're saying. Look past that. And I'm learning to do that. And when I do that, when people say that, and I do that, things are happening right behind it. Things are happening. It comes to pass every time. So I know what you're saying. The words are, because when they put it on the news, we might not know what they're saying, but the people who listen do.
Yeah.
They know what they're saying.
You mean the people that are saying it know?
Yeah. They know. It's reaching the people that they're talking to. They're not talking to us. They know who they're talking to.
Right, and the people that what you doing with your life?
You know what I'm saying? Trying to be like you, big bro. You know what I'm saying? Live one day at a time. You know what I mean?
Nigga, you can never be like me. Nigga, never be like me. Nigga, don't even try, nigga.
I love you, bro. Yeah, man.
I love you too, man. Mom, listen. He goes, oh, that just, he just, I forgot the name of the word. I forgot the crazy word he said. But the way they do is, the white people, they make these words up, right? They get these words, and instead of you explaining with your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit the way things are supposed to be as a human being, right? They just give you a word, just throw you into a box. Okay, here, this is what you are, and boom. Nigga, you trying to tell me that I just spill my guts to you, you just gonna take my little, you gonna take everything I say and throw it into one little word? And like it ain't nothing. Because if you throw it, if you make one word, right? If you make something into a one word, then you ain't got to explain yourself. You ain't got to show no feelings. You ain't got to show no this or that. All you got to do is just say that word and it's over. And that's what they got people doing. They got people saying these big words that mean something, but they're not telling you what it means. So you just saying the word and not expressing what it really means, that's going to do what? That's going to make people not care and just do things. It's going to be people just going to do things. In the end, when you get like that, when you become like that, guess what's going to happen? When that stuff gets to your, when you get to the when you're back against the wall, guess what you're going to start doing? You're going to panic. That's how people go out there and shoot 17 kids at the school, or 17 people at the school, That's how stuff start. And then on top of that, you got all this homosexuality stuff that's confusing people's mind, and that's where Whoopi comes in at. People like Whoopi Goldberg and stuff. She's sitting there. That was her call to go against, because making that movie, you have to understand, Mom. You from LA and don't know who Queen Califia is. And this was a woman named after she was named after California. And California was named after her. California was right. So if I'm the one that told you about her, and you from LA, and Whoopi Goldberg was in Orange County saying it, how you know they weren't following you? How you know they weren't following you? You don't know who I am or who you are, These people know. You think these people don't know? So Queen Califia came here. You have to understand, black people have been here way before slavery, Mom. We've been here way before slavery. So because Alex Haley writes a book, and then some white person gets the book, makes a movie out of it, do you think that's supposed to help black people? Do you know how long they hold a book, or do you know how long that goes through publishing, Mom? Do you know who sees that book? Do you know who sees your book? All right, take for instance Pimp, the movie, the book Pimp, that Iceberg Slim wrote back in the 60s that Dad had from Vietnam. Do you think they're going to get a book, publish it legally? Because if you publish it, you make money off of it from the system, right, from the government. You think these white folks is going to get a book that a black man wrote and And how long do you think a publishing company get the book? They might hold that book for 2 years. They might hold that book for a year. They might hold that book for whatever amount of time just to see what's in it. And then they take it, they put what they want in it, tell you what to put, to pay you. Now they know everything about what's in the book before black folks get it. So before it even hit the streets, because that book has a lot to do with how black people are, Mom. That book has a lot to do with how Dad is, how people in his generation are. Okay, all the preachers, all the preachers, all the bishops, everyone read that book at one time in their life, right? Yeah. Do you agree with that? Okay, then. So you think white folks didn't know it before they got it? So white folks know everything about you before you know about yourself. And that goes back to Queen Califia. Queen Califia ran California, Mom. She ran California from 0 to 100. Which is like, when school's over, at the park. Usually at the park, they will say it. Normally, most of the time they will say it at the park. Jackson Park. So, I would hear this. So then Dad gives me the book. Out of nowhere. Actually, he didn't have to give it to me. It was always there. The book was always there. The Bible was always there. Malcolm X book was always there. And when I started reading, I would just read those books because they were always there. Because as I started reading, I said, let me start reading these books because I can read now. And so when I started reading Malcolm X, I started to realize that he got killed for being smart. If he would have stayed dumb, he'd have still been alive. So I said, well, shoot, ain't no sense me getting real smart, so let me just stay dumb. And so I used that. I said, I'm gonna stay dumb, forget that smart stuff. Because I always go back to Malcolm X, how he got killed. So growing up in school, I would just learn the basics. But then I started to notice. This is what I started to notice, man. I started to notice that all the kids that were smart always had some evil ways about themselves. They were always evil. All the ones who knew a lot, they were always evil to me. So I would never ever try to go higher than what I could. I would stay low. I would stay with the basics just to pass, but I would never push myself to further because I see the people I would have to go deal with. Because you have to understand, you got the smart classes. The smart classes have the smart kids. So if I was smart, I have to deal with these people were evil, Mom. These kids had evil spirit. I could see, Mom. I could feel your spirit. You feel me? I could feel your spirit. You can feel people's spirit, right? And I felt it because I was going to church all week. And everything was supposed to be righteous. Everything was supposed to be good. Everything was supposed to be this. So if all I see is niggas being righteous, okay? So when I go to school and I see most of all the white kids are the ones who are acting evil and talking evil, even living evil because we lived among them. I wasn't going to go see them. I lived with them. So I would see all this evil stuff. That's why I never really went out there and messed with white folks. I would deal with Brad and John right down the street. As far as going way out the other side, no, I didn't deal with that because the white folks was evil to me, So I just knew this. So I would never ever further my education because I knew I would have to be in with these people. You feel me? So by me knowing this, I would just take the basics. That's why I know so much now because people have gotten so smart, they got so dumb. Because you got these kids now who are smart, but they still not white though. They still don't know. They still don't feel the white. Listen, the white people gave these black people education, but they didn't give them everything. They just put them in the education they got. It might know some stuff, but they still are inferior. They still got that inferior towards them. And I think it's worse. I think it's worse than what I had. Because you have to understand, when somebody give you something, they're also going to give you both. They're going to give you the negative and the positive. You'll get the con and you'll get the pro. So you're going to get both. I never got none of that. All I got was what I wanted. Only thing I got was what I wanted because I always went with my spirit. I always went with the spirit of the Most High. And Dad was giving me all this. Because he would cut my hair and he would tell me all this knowledgeable stuff to help me. And all that stuff was erased. He stopped talking. When the 80s hit, Michael Jackson came with that curl and they wanted to get niggas different. Dad stopped the way he talked. Even in the pulpit, he got, and that's when it started. What year did that start preaching? But I bet it was the 80s though. Okay, that's when he changed. That's when Dad started preaching. Because you have to understand, church is nothing but an institution. Religion is an institution. That's the program your mind. Program your mind. Institutions are basically here to kill your spirit. That's all it is. It's to kill your spirit of the Most High, Mom. That's what it's made for, to kill your spirit of the Most High. And if you have it, a lot of y'all have it. We have it. We would never lose it. But you have to understand, a lot of these kids never had it. Because they're being brought up to be programmed in these institutions and never having a spirit. They don't have no spirit. All the spirits was cut off. Why? Because of the laws, Mom. When they start making laws, you can't beat your kid. You can't hit your kid. That's the main one right there. That started it all. When they said you can't hit your kid with your kid, that took away all the spirit. So these kids are raised up with no spirit. All they're raised up with is being programmed from institutions. Because they aren't, Mom. Oh man. Sorry.
Is that you or me?
No, that was me. They're not acting. They were not acting. What they're doing, they're born with it. They were born with it.
They weird. I'm checking. They weird.
Because they're born with no spirit, Mom. They have no spirit. They have no spirit because they were.
They look like you're just looking right through them. Like they don't have no nothing on the inside.
Because, Mom, the spirit is everything. This, and I put it out, on YouTube. I'm the one who put it out on YouTube about the spirit. And guess who? All these preachers they watch, all these preachers, these evangelists, people on TV, they all watching me, Mom. Guess who I see get up there and Griff O'Dollar. Griff O'Dollar gets up there not too long after I said that, and guess what he said to me? He didn't say it to me personally, but he might as well have, because this is what I'm the one who brought it up. He said the spirit can never ever be wrong. The spirit is always right. The spirit can never sin. The spirit is nothing but righteousness. That's what the spirit is. Your spirit can never go, if you go with your spirit, it can never go wrong. But because of the flesh, which is fearful, that's why we never ever, we fight our spirit. We fight our spirit because of fear, Mom. We fight our spirit because I find myself doing, okay, let me ask you a question. Why do you think I'm a loner? I'm a loner, Mom, because I follow my spirit. That's why I'm a loner. You think somebody gonna follow you? You think somebody gonna follow your spirit? If it's gonna follow you if you follow your spirit. Think about it. Just think about it. Just think about it. Would you follow? Would you follow somebody? I mean, I'm not following your spirit, Mom. Mom, that's before, and that's from what? And what is that from? Yeah, but what do you think that's from, though? No, I'm saying, why don't you do things that you don't want to do? Because of what? But how you know it's not right, though? Because of what? No, it's not because of the spirit. If the spirit never goes wrong, if the spirit never wrong, I just told you the spirit never wrong. Okay, that's what Griffith Dollar said, and that's what I believe because he's right. The spirit never goes wrong. Okay, for yourself though, somebody else's spirit might go wrong, but your spirit never go wrong. But somebody else's spirit might go wrong.